Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing mostly cloudy conditions out around the area this morning with some rain showers continuing and some slightly breezy conditions. We are currently in the wind advisory, starting to see those winds relax some as we did have some fairly windy and rainy conditions in the early morning hours, and seeing things become a bit scattered rain-wise and seeing slightly weaker winds, but are currently in a wind advisory, and we'll likely see that canceled as we move later in the morning, as we expect improving conditions, particularly later in the day, as a boundary will push this unsettled weather out of the area, while still remaining fairly breezy, though, as we move through the remainder of the week. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, that area of high pressure tracking northeastward through the region. We have the warm boundary that's lifting through the area this morning, and it's going to bring some mild temperatures as we get later in the morning and into the first part of the afternoon. Then we'll see this trailing cold front push through, possibly a few more showers along that front, but that front will eventually push everything out of the area, and that's when we'll see things start to dry out as we move into the evening time frame. But as this system moves off to the northeast, it's going to bring some windy conditions, particularly as we move into our Friday. But we'll see a stretch of dry weather as high pressure starts to build in. Current conditions this morning, seeing a broken deck at 600 feet, broken at 1,600 feet, and broken at 5,500 feet. Winds are out of southeast, 15 knots. Temperature 65 degrees. Relative humidity is at 96%. If we take a quick look at the local radar here, we can see did have a bit more in the way of showers moving in earlier. Now a bit more isolated. We do have a few showers to our south, most likely going to push through the area this morning. And as mentioned, we'll continue to see a chance of showers this morning and into the first part of the afternoon, particularly as that second boundary pushes through, and then we'll see things drying out. We look at the current visible satellite and the composite radar. Similar story here. We do have a few breaks in the clouds ahead of the cold front that will be pushing through the area, so we'll see mostly cloudy to overcast conditions generally, but can't rule out a few peaks of sunshine, and then more in the way of sunshine as that boundary pushes through later today. We'll take a look at the high resolution model for what we can expect. As mentioned, things a bit more isolated shower wise as we move through the morning. We are seeing some lightning off to the west with a few stronger showers. We will see a chance of lightning as we move through our morning and first part of the afternoon, with some of the shower activity potentially if we see a stronger shower pushing through. As you can see, late morning, a few brighter reflectivities being simulated here, indicating that possibility for a stronger shower. Then the boundary pushes through right around 1 to 2 o'clock, and that's when we're going to start to see things drying out. As you can see, all the rain activity is going to be moving out of the area. We'll still see some slightly breezy conditions, but things drying out and the sky is starting to clear. As we move overnight into our Friday morning, that low still lingers to our north, keeping the pressure gradient tight, and we'll see winds ramping up through the early morning hours, and then we'll see a very windy day for our Friday. Although it will be generally partly cloudy and dry, we will see those wind gusts potentially 30 to 40 miles per hour as we move through the day, so likely staying in a wind advisory through much, if not all, of the working hours for our Friday. But generally, we'll see those winds start to weaken as we move into our weekend, and we'll see dry conditions prevailing through the next few days. So as we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, looking at red conditions for precip and orange conditions for the winds above 25 knots and reduced ceilings and visibilities, and a yellow risk for lightning starting off through the morning hours. Again, we'll generally see improving conditions. Do expect those winds to drop below that wind advisory criteria, so a good chance we'll see that canceled as we get later in the morning this morning. And as we move into the afternoon, we see decreasing chances of rain, particularly during the first hour or two of the afternoon before that boundary pushes through, similar with that lightning chance for a stronger storm, and reduced ceilings with those storms pushing through, or the potential for those storms showers pushing through. But again, improving conditions as we move past the 13 to 1400 local time frame. We'll see mild conditions before that front pushes through, possibly seeing temperatures briefly hit 70 degrees for our high today. As we go into the evening time frame, decreasing clouds becoming mostly clear through the overnight time frame, staying slightly breezy, and then we'll see the breeze really start to pick up as we move through the early morning hours of Friday, seeing those westerly winds move in 12 to 17 knots, gusting up to 25 knots. We'll see our temperature struggle to get below 50 degrees for our Friday morning. Tide's still running 1 to 2 feet above normal. We'll see that improving as we see those winds shift more westerly. Friday, we'll see partly cloudy conditions, mostly sunny later in the day, but main story will be those windy conditions with those gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour through the day. We'll see our high fairly seasonable, around 62 degrees, but red conditions for our wind advisory criteria, as we do expect a wind advisory for Friday. Then things start to quiet down and remain fairly seasonable, mostly clear with a slight breeze early during Friday night, and then that breeze weakens. We'll see a low around 45 degrees, and then Saturday a quiet day, mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions with a high around 62. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. Take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.